All right, we're live again. Hello, everyone. My name is Christoph Cemper, founder of Link Research Tools, and Link Detox was my invention in 2012. And yeah, welcome to the next LRT live clinic, this SEO clinic. Glad to have you here, Lido, Marcos, Mark. Great to see you. Thank you for the tip on that weird post. Mikey, Jellica, David again. Hi to have you here. Good to have you here. Another David. Irving, Nimesh, yeah, you keep coming in. Thomas is here again from the German group from last week. Great to have you here. No, Thomas? Yeah, I think that was the German group. And yeah, we have a lot of sites to look at, a lot of stuff to learn again. And we have our guest, Rick Lomas again, which should actually be here already. So I think we'll connect him in a moment. Meanwhile, let me say thank you for your interest in, what the site clinic is. You maybe know, but if you don't, I will say it in a couple of sentences. The site clinic is a concept that was introduced on web conferences, on SEO conferences many, many years ago. And the concept is simple. You have experts on a panel that look at a website live. So there is one guest, one person in the show that brings up the website, and usually up front, so people, experts can prepare. And then we just look at the website in detail. And this is exactly what we do here. Of course, being link research tools, we have a very special focus on the links, but you cannot just look at the links alone. So we always look at some on-page issues. We find content problems, obvious conversion killers, and many other things. And yeah, just waiting for my examples here. We have a lot of websites, and you see everything above 1,000 means a penalty. And what we usually do is then we look at the attendees that are here and then pick those that are actually have shown up and look at them from the site list that we have. And if you are here, we may start with your site. So who's there for the most recent submissions here? Andre? No. Merdat? No. Oh, and I need to get Rick Lomas in, of course. Where is he? I just saw him. Participants. Hang on. I do have a co-host who should be able to do that, but I don't see Rick. Yeah, living in the mountain is a hard life. Sometimes you don't have internet, and let's see. And I think we should be complete. As always, we have a Q&A panel for you guys. And I want to start right away with just showing you what we gonna look at. So where is Rick?
Hi.
Hey, Rick, what happened?
I'm not sure. It said internet connection was unstable, so
Oh, okay, yeah.
I've actually changed back to the Wi-Fi. I don't know how good it's going to be, but
Okay, well, right now you're crisp clear, so great to have you here again. And
hi.
as always, we'll start with our random.org lists, the list randomizer, and see who of the entrants is actually visible. So this is how it works. It's all transparent, guys. We have, wow, what is this, 40 people? We just randomize. And then let's see who's here. Mirai in the guests, or Ralph, or Drashko, or Michael Mohammed, Mirdad. Let's see. Let's see. Maybe Eric, when you see someone showing up, someone that we could start with, just post it into our Slack. It looks like the guys don't show up, right? Give us the sites and then show up. And this is the rule, guys. If you want your site to be audited by experts, you have to simply show up. Why? Not because we did all the preparations. We did all the crawling, we did classification, we did all the work to give you a site audit, but we have questions. We need to understand what your pain points are. And so if you don't show up, we'll just do other sites. So let's look. And if you see your site listed here, just give us a thumbs up in the show. Oh my God, this takes forever. I'm sorry, guys. And Simona, Kevin. Greg, come on, let's do this again. Victor, is there a Victor? No. What about Brandon? Brandon, not showing up. I'm sorry. What about John? Not showing up. Nigel Harris. Oh, that's sad. I saw Nigel in the previous show, I think. What about Tom? Tom? No. Mitun? No. Okay. Andrew Rostad. You know what? Rick, do you have a favorite that we should start with? So we don't spend 10 minutes trying to find the people actually show.
Yeah, I've got that Kelly Warner Law open here, so
yeah,
you can start on that if you want.
Okay. Kelly Warner Law, a law company. I saw them a while ago, already here prepared. I think it came in just 1 or 2 days ago. And yeah, let's look at that overall. I mean, when we look at this overall detox risk, what you have to see immediately is this is ripe for a penalty, or at least a filter that holds you back in the rankings. Everything above 1,000 detox risk means a penalty or a filter. And how do you fix that? You disavow links. I mean, you could try removing some of the spam links, but nobody will reply to you because that's the idea of automated spam patterns on the web. Just yesterday, I read a weird article where they said the web is getting smaller because quality is so important. So the web is getting smaller. Let me tell you from our daily routine, and that Rick can testify to that, the web is not getting smaller. Freaking not smaller. It gets bigger every second. And the biggest issue that search engines and tools like us have is coping with that huge amount of trash, which is, also part of that is your problem as well, because Google won't fix that. So what we see here is 1,195 too much. What we see here on the right-hand side is all sorts of issues that are automatically generated based on the patterns. So when we look at some random links here, we could look at the domains, and some people say only the domains matter. I don't agree with them, because you could have good links from bad domains, less likely, but especially bad links from good domains. Typical example, comment spam on random reputable websites. So what we see here is details of links, all of the links, active, broken, the ones that we could verify, the ones we could not. And when you look into details for each single of them, you could, see tons of detailed metrics. One of them, let me scroll to the right, are the link detox rules. These are the human readable rules that we came up with over the years that tell you why this link has a high risk. So you see this is a link from a page with external links on a weak domain, a young domain with low power trust, a link coming from a probably new or weak domain, a negative SEO pattern that we spotted. So what do you see here is on the link detail level, we already aggregate existing data into rules. So some data that goes in here would be, for example, the number of links on that page, the links going out of that page. The link velocity trend would be a topic, a webinar by itself for many hours. And all of these go together back one level higher into what we have called issues here. There are opportunities in there as well. We see one here below, high potential links to improve. But this is the most user-friendly way to approach it. I'm explaining this because it's actually multiple levels of analysis that we have right now. And people often ask, why is that the way it is? And experts like our Rick Lomas, of course, know those little nitty-gritty details from the heart. Live and breathe link detox. You're the guy, Rick, that wakes up in the morning and before you grab a coffee, start a couple link detox reports, right?
It's sad but true, yeah.
Well, it runs for a while, which is, something that comes up often. People say, "Oh, why does it take so long?" Yeah,
Well, it
crawling the
does
web,
a lot.
it
Yeah.
takes some time.
I was thinking actually, if you get Detox running really fast, then I'm not quite sure when I'm going to do things like nip down the shops.
Yeah, well, we have actually some ideas how to make it faster, how to make this quick detox on a sample of backlinks. But the problem with all of that is, I'll type in a really big domain here, Amazon.com, and we can now give you a sample of backlinks to Amazon.com. Amazon.com has probably 1 trillion links, and what we can do is, what is this? I'm in the wrong project here. But if you look at a sample of links, let's say the top 30,000 links to Amazon.com, in relation to 1 trillion links, it's just a minor little fraction. It's a hair in the soup. And just looking at that little hair of data doesn't tell you much. I mean, it looks impressive because, wow, we got links to Amazon. But what you really see is that we did not analyze 47, I think that's called trillion, 829 million. No, 47 billion, 829 million links were not only not, aggregated, but especially not crawled, right? And usually you see some pie in here that, has some color. So back to the site that we wanted to look at. Kelly-Warner law.
with this particular site, I made a couple of filters. There's one I redid that coupon one. It's now called RL coupon something.
Okay, let's take
and there's
away the
also
filter.
one. There's
Let's
also
look at
one.
that one.
Okay.
Coupon spam. Ah, you created two.
Three actually.
Like
I did one for them domain lists as well.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you can use the filter on the source on the domains and on the keywords. So once I pick a filter that you set here, right? It works here on the source pages. It works on the links, which is, every single link from every single source page. Sometimes source pages can have multiple links. And it works on the TLDs and even the anchor text. So what I find interesting is that we have what? All sorts of anchor text, which are actually their URLs. Promo, voucher, discount, coupon. Source URLs. From the source URLs.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Daily
Hang on.
coupon, ego.
Oh, is this?
Wow. Yeah.
That's right.
Discount. Yeah. All sorts of risky links.
So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of the image scraper stuff again.
Yeah.
Yeah, really those three filters that I just made.
Oh, I just clicked on the wrong one. Let me go back. And is there any good link that comes from a source URL? Did you find anything that is good, Rick? Doesn't look like. Okay. So we're looking at links coming from all sorts of domains and pages about coupons. And why are they linking there? Or we're linking there. It's interesting that we could not crawl that specific site, Kellner law, the US defamation law. Oh, So it even goes to a page that was an error that is a 404 now. Yeah, and here's the recommendation. We always recommend to disavow links regardless if that page is there or not anymore. If you have these risky links and someone finds that this page is a 404, they will maybe fix their website, create a redirect, and then have all these spammy links going to wherever they redirected to. So you want to make sure, in a link audit that you disavow them anyways. So I got 32. And we'll just disavow them all on the domain level. Yes. Okay. Yeah, the risk hasn't changed here yet because we did not recalculate. But for this example, you see the backlink profile coverage image again. And this one is all red. Red because of the risk, but it's completely full, 100%, because we analyzed all the links. Okay, Rick, so these were some really spammy links. What other filters do you have for me to look at? Show.
There's that one called domain list, which is if you look at the filters, you'll see it.
Yeah. Wow. Here's the 106 domains that we had. Oh, and here we have a domain list, and the list. Okay, let's look at that.
These are all rubbish usually.
So you're saying any source URL that has domain list in its name is rubbish.
It's kind of like dash list dash.
Yeah.
Because it's usually domain dash list dash then a number, but it's not always domain. So I've just made it to show the ones that are not that one.
Yeah.
I'm also wondering why Kelly Warner LA is the biggest anchor.
Yeah.
I thought for a moment it was because they might be in Los Angeles, but they're not. They're in Arizona.
They're not. No. It's from Kelly Warner Law. It's the last character cut
but you
off.
got Kelly Warner La.
Interesting.
Yeah, which is a bit weird.
I think I've seen that before, where this comes from scrapers as well, where the script is probably programmed wrong. So someone actually wanted to use Kelly Warner Law, but you see there is anchor text for Kelly Warner LA and Kelly Warner LAW dot. So there's two types of scripts that either have a +1 or a -1 problem, which is a typical coding problem. If you switch between C and PHP, you'll usually get an array wrong by 1. And yeah, who would link with that wrong anchor text? Spam. Oh, I think we lost Rick again. Yeah, Eric, if you could get him in then when he shows up again. I'm gonna keep looking here around. What we just did, guys, is we looked at the Dragon. Nice to have you here. I just saw you in the list. Long time no see. And we have everything in here still not processed. So shall we go through that? Virus and malware links, that's an easy one. Nobody wants virus links. Eric, we lost you for a moment. And then we got...
I'm here.
Yeah.
Okay.
We got redirect chains on a target page. What does that mean? That the website that the links go to, it should have, an optimal structure, by technical SEO or by on-page SEO. And at least those pages that have links going to them, which expresses some interest from the web, should be okay. And we see usually that there are redirects happening, nowadays from non-SSL to SSL, and then sometimes inside the site. So what we could do is we could take this existing filter and just look if there are some redirects with a lot more hops, and they're not. Great. So that's an on-site check feature if you want. Yeah, then we have, notice how we get a reminder that we should still upload the disavow file. We just created a new disavow file in the background. We just need to download it here. Yeah, Rick, we were just finished with that one filter on the lists. Do we have another pattern that you discovered that we haven't mentioned yet?
Right. Okay. Sorry, my connection's terrible today. I
Oh, don't
disappeared
worry,
then.
don't worry. I can keep going, you know. I can keep going.
Okay.
If you check your thing here, meanwhile, I'll look at the website more in detail. If we look at the total anchor text breakdown, we see the most popular keyword phrase is defamation laws in Japan. Autocomplete defamation lawsuit. Bettina Wolf versus Google. So obviously there was some defamation lawsuit. Defamation laws seem to be a big thing for the agency. But you know what my problem is? I look at this and I don't see Kelly Warner law here anymore. Where are the anchor texts for Kelly Warner? None? Oh, here we go. By scope, we got some external links. But by count, the volume of brand links is really, really small. No. Sorry. Did you see this little checkbox here on the right? Show only unclassified links. We were busy classifying some links. So obviously all the Kelly Warner links that we saw were already classified, which is good. So if we look at the unclassified links, here's the defamation laws in Japan. And if this website is big on... Oh, we got two rigs now.
Hang on.
If this website is big on defamation laws, then we would find more keywords probably. Maybe not now. Oh, wait. We do find more now. And instead of going through these, I mean, I could go and click money and money and money here. That all makes sense anyways. But you can automate that if you just say defamation laws as a pattern here in money keyword. So internet lawyers or lawyers in general would be a money keyword. And I discussed this with my team just before the show, that this is where you can save a lot of time. You know, of course, you would never spend whatever $100 per click on lawyers, but if you specify that you would bid on lawyers, if you know it would be cheaper, then you can say that in your money keywords, and then everything related to lawyers, everything related to defamation laws or law in general could be a money keyword. And when I click here, it restarts analyzing all the keyword phrases and will auto-classify that. And what you just saw in the last, 10 minutes was us vetting through thousands of links and their keyword phrases in an automated fashion. What you saw Rick doing is applying his expert knowledge to patterns that we haven't automated yet. So you can always, customize all of that filtering, all of these rules. But the idea here is that we give you as much as possible automation to pre-classify, to then, decide based on these patterns. Yeah, this recalculation would take some time. So I would say we close this one and go to the next one.
Okay.
All right.
I've swapped computers, by the way. It seems better now because I couldn't
Okay.
hear what you were saying.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Okay. So,
okay.
Which one would you look at, Rick? Mustafa is not here.
I mean, is there someone watching who wants us to particularly look at their site?
Yeah, maybe if you submitted a site and you are here, please make it easier for us and just do a show up of hands, a thumbs up or a wave or whatever icon it has on your computer. And of course, Mark, it needs to be prepared. So we did not prepare your website. You need to submit that for our team to run it. And we could even do this in your account. But yeah, this is how it works. The submission should work. And if you submitted it just, too early before the show, then maybe we didn't finish running it. But I'll make sure, that you are there. In this training account that we use, it's not set up yet, Rick. So Mark.
Did you say there was a Nigel Harris here? Or
Yeah, Nigel Harris is, but not in the attendees, right?
okay.
Yeah. Well, then let's look at the list and pick someone here from. Do you know what Koji is?
Koji.
Koji in
Is
India.
that
Well,
one of
I
the
don't know how you pronounce it. Koji in India. This came in just a couple days ago. Looks like some e-commerce site. Coach. Oh, I made it code. Yeah. Well, if the person isn't here that submitted it, then we cannot show it. I'm sorry. Maybe later. Maybe later. So, Calculators Canada. What's that? Oops.
Do you want to look at that?
Yeah. Let's have a look. Obviously, it was in the system for a while from last week ago. No, 2 weeks ago. Yeah, because we see the risk going down. So we did some work in here, but I don't remember going over this in detail. Maybe we just fixed some of the obvious disavows quickly, but we still see an average, above average domain risk for this 390,500 links. And when we look at the distribution, roughly a quarter is still in the high risk level. So in theory, we could go through all of these, or we look at some other patterns. For instance, here's a lot of political activists and group calculators. Political links. Oh, list of domains. Look at that. I could take your filter again that we had in the previous.
Yeah, I kind of made those to work with most sites, actually. I mean, they're really common kinds of spam that a lot of sites get. And, everyone kind of thinks that Google will ignore it. I just can't be sure. And I have known people where they've got, it can get to the stage where like kind of 80% of your links are those kind of scraped crap,
Yeah.
And I think then you run into problems. I'm also looking at the BMI calculator. I'm just wondering where all them links come from.
Okay, so the BMI calculator.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Body mass index. A lot of stuff in here broken. There are some good ones here. A WordPress.org link. Okay, makes sense to create a WordPress plugin, but you only get a nofollow link. And if you miss that memo, the way nofollows work changed actually in September 2019. Specifically, I think on September 1919. And you can read everything about that in my post, nofollow 2.0. But yeah, looking at some of those, I would definitely keep some of them. The spammier ones, a plugin mirror, health plugin mirror. Yeah, I would probably get rid of the plugin mirror here because of the risk and the patterns. If we disavow this on the root domain, all of the links here will get disavowed. So let's remove that filter. But it's interesting that this website seems to have all sorts of calculators, not just, a body mass index, but financial And I could imagine that this is where the money is for the website.
Christoph, all I'm seeing is a kind of frozen screen of yours when you were recalculating in the last job. Do you know how to kind of refresh Zoom or?
No.
Right. In that case,
Wait. I hope this is not a problem for all of
I
the
don't know,
people.
because your audio is okay now, and I can see
Yeah.
you moving in the small.
Guys, can you give me a short sign? All good from my end? Only Chris cam is freezing. Okay. Interesting.
What was it?
All good? I see everything properly. Yeah, you know, over the last 4 months or so, where we've been doing this already every week, I noticed that in some areas, the quality that Zoom delivers is just low. So I guess that has to do with a content distribution network, in addition to maybe a local problem. So if you don't see the screen updating at all, you know, Rick, what you could do is you just leave and come back in.
That's what
And
I'm
I
going to do.
continue,
Right,
yeah,
will
until it's working. So no problem. You know, you come and go whenever you're here.
Okay.
Okay, thanks guys for all the feedback. Yeah, but I think you know this really over the months has shown that you know Zoom is doing a great job, but it's not perfect. It cannot be perfect because the internet isn't perfect. But take it from someone who's been doing webinars for 15 years. All of the other providers suck big time compared to Zoom. So yeah, we stick with them until someone comes up with a better one. Okay. So back to the calculators. What was that?
Yeah, it's working there. So
Okay,
cool.
Yeah, so back to the calculators. Do we actually have some keywords that are calculators that we did not Wow, look at all these calculators that are not classified. Again, here I would say everything with the word calculators in it is at least a money keyword, a compound keyword if it has the brand, which is calculatorscanada.ca in it. Yeah, but we're done with those. So when I now go, here's another way to bulk classify. I pick all of those and just say classify all of them as money. Now I could recalculate and would see a better quality of the overall calculation. So, but it doesn't get boring here in this backlink profile. Look at all of that stuff. We do have some backlinks that we could improve. Do not always talk about removing. What is a link that I could improve? If a link has some trust already, and like here from Michelle and Company, linking to the mortgage subdomain, we see here this source page has a bigger trust than power. Usually it's the other way around. SEO links usually have a high power and a low trust. So I would recommend to take a close look at this source page and just build some links to it. Right? So this is definitely a great link. I would add a thumbs up, and I would add a link, whatever your code might be. But we want tier 2 links. We want links to this page, right? So these are the links that you can use to improve. High risk links to broken pages. I think we saw that. Yeah, here we got the redirect chains again on the source pages. Make sure that you are aware that all of these links going to your website can and should be redirected, but preferably only with one redirect. And when you see something like this, It's still okay. This one is okay too. But let's look again if we find more than 2. Yeah. So these are links going to pages on your website that will, oh my God, look at these source URLs. You see there's something weird going on that are redirected more than 2. Oh, the from source redirect count. I was talking about the target redirect count. And we're actually cleaning up the redirect count fields at the moment because we have way too many of them. Yeah, you see this? 1, 2, 3, 4 hops. In theory, you could reduce this to 1 redirect. So you have 2 hops. So let's look further. Very high risk links from unavailable status. I would just click a button and disavow them. It will always come back to you if there are some really good links in there that we find later on. But for a quick, getting rid of the action, you can do that. So Rick, how's your sound and computer doing?
It's okay. It's the screen is okay.
Yeah.
The sound's cracking up occasionally. One thing I noticed with this is all those links that are BMI calculator. I can't quite see that. There's quite a lot of them are dead, and I think what there must have been is some like widget type calculator with the link in it. That was, now I suspect that that's probably now not being used.
Yeah.
But in the link sources, there's all these like links all saying BMI calculator.
Yeah.
That was essentially widget spam, I think. I'm just trying to find a good example.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of them were actually taken down or don't resolve anymore. And here we can simply click, on this context action and try to find a historic version in the Wayback Machine. You're not always lucky with that, but it looks like I am. Yeah. And then we could look at what was going on back there. Oh my God, my virus scanner goes off. Malicious object detected. A Trojan. Did you know that you could have Trojan viri in the web archive? I didn't. Here it is. The warning. This is just... Okay. You learn something new every day. Let's look at another one that was killed. No.
I mean, there are some that are still alive. Let's
look at them. With a control and a click on the tab, we can extend this filter. Yeah, the active filter is one of active. BMI calculator. The good thing about live links is that they're usually online still. Here we go. You were right. A BMI calculator. As you said, Rick. It's just that the page, I don't know. It's not convincing me.
Are they follow or no follow?
Right now, the link is...
They're follow, aren't they?
Yeah.
So I think Google are going to see this as widget spam.
Yeah, absolutely. We've had examples like that many, many times already. And when we look at the preview here again, in the screener, in the full screener, we show the source code as well, which you could look at here. Target blank. LRT screener highlight. Yeah. Calculators Canada. Mm-hmm. Calculators Canada. And there is a second link, actually the first one, which is linking to them with a money phrase.
Yeah.
That, I mean, especially on spammy sites like this, is obvious widget spam. So let's see if we find another pattern, but it looks like these are all of them. Link profile are widget spam. Content paragraph sidebar. Mm-hmm. A lot of poor domains linking to them. So I would say maybe, look at those, what is this? That have at least some rankings. And maybe not disavow them all. It depends on if you have a manual action or not, right? So potentially if you leave these here with a question mark for later, and then disavow all the others between 0 and 101 and 100. You would have scrapped 80% of the links that are obvious widget spam. Maybe try to get away with it.
I mean, this question did come up in a Google Webmaster Hangout a couple of years ago with John Mueller, and he said if you're going to do that, make the links no follow, in your widget.
Yeah.
So although I don't always listen to everything he says, I think certainly putting BMI calculator as the anchor widget, linking to you is going to cause problems.
Yeah, absolutely.
So,
the problem here is they cannot simply change it on the old links. So they probably had a copy paste for the HTML text, and then people just pasted that HTML, and so they cannot change it in hindsight.
Yeah. I mean, you could do an outreach campaign, with Pitchbox and see what you can get changed, but it might be just easy just to disavow them. I mean, the whole point that Google would say, I can almost imagine John saying this. They would say that you're putting the code on. Well, people are putting your code on their sites and they're linking to you, and you don't know, the quality of their link, and in a way, you've given them a calculator in return for a link. Therefore, it's like a paid link, and it's manipulative.
Yeah, exactly. And it's been, I think, overdone for years.
Sort of thing. Yeah, it is that sort of thing that can cause manual actions. So I'd be really careful with that kind of thing. I mean, it worked fine last decade.
Yeah, and I guess there are some markets where this maybe works. So it would even be interesting to see if this is probably just some really old one. If we would have time to dig deeper into the calculator side, it would be interesting to see if they have other calculators. I would expect so. Mortgage calculator is a typical example for a widget to give away. So I would guess, if we look through this, and the site owner being here could probably tell us really quick that they have widgets for other cases as well. If something works for the one, keyword, maybe they did it for the other keyword, and that would be something to. Oh my God, this one loads super slow as well. Look at this. Oh.
I mean, sorry. I mean, many years ago, I did know a guy who he'd done a WordPress plugin that had links going back to his site.
Yeah.
And he got in a bit of trouble with that. But what he actually did, he actually rewrote the plugin so that the anchor text would kind of vary every time the plugin was installed. So rather than getting the same footprint, he would actually get thousands of different anchors and brand anchors too, and that actually worked for about a year, and then it kind of caught up with him again.
Yeah, for a crash and burn website, you know, that's definitely something that people might consider doing, you know, if they're happy, then taking the risk off. But it looks like, you know, this was some website. Wait, let's look again. Maybe it is a crash and burn site actually that we. You know, when I look at that site by itself, you know, Calculators Canada, it doesn't look like a popular brand to me. It doesn't tell me anything why a specific logo or some person running this. It seems like a typical affiliate project with, I guess, affiliate content, as John Miller also calls it. So the question is, who are the experts here? Yeah, calculators.
Yeah. I'm just looking what the notes are about it.
Yeah. Now, next thing that comes to mind is, what is this website? Are you kidding me? Calculatorscanada.ca and calculatorsworld.com. They look almost the same. And I guess we would see, if we look at some of the suspicious rules here, that they are very closely related to each other. You see this pattern? Same design? The one linking to the other? I'm sure they might be hosted on different IP addresses. 263.60. Yeah, 2 different IP addresses. But the link profile and the designs give it a, yeah, seem to give it away already. Oh well, maybe not.
I'm just wondering how this is actually monetized, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
No, I've
No,
no
but
idea.
still.
AdSense? Maybe just Google AdSense. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah. Oh, I got my ad blocker here turned on still.
Right. Okay. Well, all I can see is Google AdSense. So I think this would be what Google used to call the made for AdSense sites, where the only function of the site is to get the clicks on AdSense.
Yeah. Well.
And I think that might be a problem as well.
Yeah. True.
Because I can't see any other reason for it, really. Maybe.
Yeah. So I see some ad boxes here showing up. Got it. Yeah, they're coming. Oh my God. It was such a wonderful website. I mean, kind of minimalistic without the ads. Okay, they got a WordPress plugin, savings calculator. Okay. So
I think there's multiple problems there. I think there's the widget spam, it's made for AdSense site, and it's got general scraping spam, really.
Yeah.
So
I look at this, all of these here. Paddlemania Co. So some scraper links here as well. Yeah, and besides that, you know, when we go through fixing these obvious problems here, we need to keep monitoring for potential negative SEO, because if you're in a mortgage calculator business, in the finance business itself, I think there's really stiff competition. It always has been, and competition just gets more. So I would assume that we maybe see some negative SEO patterns once we get rid of these obvious spam patterns. Like here with the PBN links. I would say keep them for now.
Okay.
and then recalculate that risk and see where we go. And the next step, when this comes back, would be that we see we're maybe at a level of 700 or so. And then the real question is, what does your competition have? With competitive detox, we compare that risk to other websites. And then you can gauge if you're matching that existing risk level that is so to say the norm for your industry. Every country, every company, every language has different rules. And so if you have competitors all having a risk of 2000, then there's no point in trying to get to 200. Google can only show top 10 results. And if you're blending in and be a little bit better, that's all you need. I mean, all you need. Sounds easy, right? Now let's look at the next website then.
Well, I've just got a note from Eric here saying that the guy from howtogosolar.org is in the webinar.
Ah, that's nice.
Drashko Georgiev, are you there?
Drashko.
Yeah.
I think I saw him. Yeah.
There you go.
Hi, I'm here. Hello.
Hey. Nice.
How you doing?
Hi, fine, thank you.
Great to have you here. Let me open up that report right away. How to go solar. I like that topic of the website, big time. Very much needed. What is your pain? Can you tell us real quick, if you have some obvious pain or problem that you want us to look at?
Basically, this is a hobby website that just lists some simple techniques and DIY projects of mine. But I did have some backlink building in the past. But basically it wasn't so successful. And when I look at Google Webmaster Tools, I can see there is a huge spike occasionally. And last one was, I think, 1 year ago, huge spike in search traffic, which after, I don't know, a week or two, just goes rapidly down. So I'm not sure if there are some quality backlinks already there in place, but also some very toxic links that are holding the site back, or I'm not sure what's going on. But looks to me there is some potential, but something is holding it down.
Yeah, sounds familiar. I think we hear that a lot. And let's dive right in. A quick question about the backlink building. Where did you build the links to? Do you have a money page that converts, or is AdSense your monetization?
No AdSense. There was only a simple forum and forum link built in. That's basically it.
Okay. To the articles then?
Yes.
Okay.
There are AdSense ads in all the pages, but I don't believe that's causing these issues with the search.
Yeah, I see 2, 3 ad blocks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Actually, those ads are set on auto, so Google is placing all these number of ad units.
Okay, good. Well then, Google hopefully knows what they're doing. I mean, hopefully the Google AdSense division knows what to do so you don't suffer in organic search, but that's a debate that's often going on. No, thank you very much for this, and I would suggest we go dive right in.
Okay.
Thank you for now. I'll mute you. Rick, how to go solar. Do you have a solar panel on your house?
No, because during the winter there's about 1/2 meter of snow permanently on the roof, and I'm not sure how that would affect it. Would that work or not?
Well, you would have to go up and get rid of the snow. The sun doesn't go through, right?
I'm not doing that in the winter.
Okay.
Yeah. I have thought about it. and there are, there is a government incentive if you do that, but it's not particularly good actually. It would mean I'd probably have to live here another 30 years for it to pay for itself. I'm not even sure I'll live another 30 years, to be honest.
Oh, yeah, but you have a nice scenery there. All right, let's go back to the problems.
One day I'll live. The second biggest anchor in this is the word prevent, which is really weird.
Prevent.
And it appears to be on a lot of.
And I see the dot.
On a lot of, oh yeah, there's that there.
I can explain that. There was a domain which I bought actually, and I redirected everything here on how to go solar, but I later on removed it because it didn't bring anything positive.
Oh. So what we really need to do is the redirecting domain. Was that preventip.org?
Exactly, yes.
Uh-huh. Okay. The redirects are still in the system probably. And the links seem to be there in the system as well. And that means you maybe inherited, you redirected a potential penalty from that domain over to your website. So what would be needed is to set up a project for that one to actually understand the backlink profile of preventip.org. If you redirect the domain, you redirect its backlink profile to you. And while that is a common tactic in SEO to set up an expired domain and redirect it somewhere, it could get you into deep trouble if those links are toxic themselves. So let's see. Oh, that's 10,000 link roll budget. That could actually be quite fast. So I'm starting that right away. But we would still need to, we still don't have a quick start for running a Detox analysis, but that's coming. We will get one eventually. But what you need to do is to look at that backlink profile and do the cleanup there, because the backlink profile for everything going directly to how to solar looks a little bit spammy. It's above 1,000, so we need to clean up here, but it's not dramatic like we've seen 3,000 or 4,000. Prevent IP? Well, yes, that's something that could bring you a lot more toxicity. What we see here is these high-risk links with unavailable status. I would get rid of them right away. And what we had before was a filter from Rick. So you use this on all your audits?
Yeah, pretty much. Well, as you know, I tend to use the classic version of Detox.
Yeah. Still,
I don't have that, but I do like this functionality you have now.
Yeah, you got to be converted eventually, but until then, we'll continue to improve and make this faster and more like the classic version. It's coming. Don't worry.
Okay. I spotted quite a lot of those sort of bookmark sites, and it's like Bookmark for You, and they've all got the same anchor, which is personal injury law and you. And that looks a bit odd as well.
What was the anchor again?
Personal injury law and, well, ampersand and you.
Interesting.
If you look at the anchor text, you'll see.
Yeah, it's here. Bookmark for You. Bookmark sites marked as toxic 3, which is a high detox risk score link calculated by Link Detox Genesis, which is our machine learning that we've been training since 2013 with spam examples from Google, with these examples that you get from Google that they give you. If you do a reconsideration, you may get an example back, this link or this link is bad. You get 2 or 3 maximum, sometimes just 1. And this is what we use. And what we see here is there's one link here from Reddit. And that's also some controversy about that. Should we disavow links from Reddit because there are follow links? In this case, I would say.
What? all I was going to say was that I have actually seen Reddit given us a sample problematic link in a failed reconsideration request.
Okay.
So I'm not saying that all links on Reddit are bad, but you know, if it's manipulative, then you know, Google might think it is manipulative.
Yeah, and what does personal injury law have to do with how to go solar in the first place? So let's disavow this at least on the page level. And the other ones here from Bookmark for You, I would just disavow on the root domain level. And then we got Video Bookmark, another bookmarking service. Just get rid of it. Yeah, good catch. So by looking through the keyword anchor cloud here with a count or here with a risk, you would see all sorts of weird anchor texts that are not related to the website. PreventIP.org is a very popular one. So all of these links that go to the website or did go to the website from PreventIP, they are still in the system. If all these toxic links were coming from PreventIP, they might still be counting because the link crawl state here is unavailable. So Google cannot even verify if the link or the redirect is still there from these websites that are not resolving anymore. So, and if you say that the prevent IP didn't bring any good, I would just say bulk disavow them. Bahnfahren.info. Bahnfahren. These are German websites also. Interesting. Yeah, prevent IP. Yeah, this one here is still running. Processing disavows and backlinks. Yeah, look at this. All the ones with the anchor text prevent IP have a page power trust of 0, 95% of them. So I guess we disavowed them by now. Blog CMS. 500 links come from domains that have no rankings whatsoever. What good is a website that doesn't rank at all? So there are some that may be not important enough, and some that might just be trash. And I always recommend to go through these, going by source page, power trust, know your bio clock. Okay. So there's one that has a little bit of power trust. Bubble wrapped windows. Does this website still exist? No. It's another of these links that are gone. And links that are gone, we could as well disavow. So I'm using a machete here, cleaning up. And I think I've already seen an issue on the front page here in the domain overview, where you get maybe not. Oh, it was the previous site. After some time, you get a notice here if you accidentally disavowed something that looks really good. So you can always go back. And a little known secret or method is that you can also undisavow. We often get the question, oh, I will never be able to take it back. And there has been some myth going on that once you disavow a link, it will always be gone forever if you make a mistake. But that's just not true. And Google confirmed that many times, actually. Yeah, so Rick, what else should we look at here?
Let's see if Look at your list.
Bubble wrapping. What's safe? 22% of the backlinks say safe.
Which? Oh.
Safe.
Yeah. Well,
yeah, all of them.
I think the thing with this is it's. All right. So what were they?
They were saying safe.
Weird.
Yeah, I guess.
So I think the overall problem here is, based on the links and redirects that it once had, is Google isn't quite sure what the actual site's about.
Yeah.
I mean, it does seem to rank for phrases like thermal mass water storage tanks.
Really? Ah.
But doesn't seem to rank for anything particular solar, really, with the word solar in.
Not at all? Were you checking SEMrush?
Just look on SEMrush, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I'm looking at UK.
Bubble wrap insulation. Bubble wrap insulation? Isn't that about Windows? Solar.
I suppose you've got solar powered 110 volt power supply.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. Let's see if we actually can find something. Oh, what's that? Redirect, okay.
Using Bing there?
I am. I'm using Edge as well. Oh, you didn't get the memo. I switched to Microsoft Edge and Bing as well. Because on the one hand, I switched to Ubuntu from Microsoft Windows. But now when I'm on Windows here for this show, I'm using, also more Windows stuff.
All right.
And
there's a great big storm happening here. I'm just going to shut the window.
Yeah. So at least it comes up in Google here for a unique phrase. So it's not a total penalty. Yeah. Now what you could do is you pick the title, search for the title. And if the website isn't showing up for the title at all, then you have a problem. And we have all of that automated in a metric called title rank, which you can just turn off and on here in our data. If a website doesn't rank for the title of that homepage, how should it rank for anything? And so this is another metric that Link Research Tools invented in 2011, I think, or 12, that helped us spot spammy links. And if it ranks on 9,999 or doesn't rank at all, it's not worth keeping. Yeah, so I'm not sure how that went through here, but we just found another spammy link that is actually a wallpaper spam link. Oh yeah. Let's look at a prepared filter here from Rick. Now we have all the wallpapers.
Yeah.
Let's look at the dot links with the anchor text dot. Oh, we missed some. There is one missing here from family feed. So when we say disavow is empty, we would see all of those links that are not yet disavowed, but have only a dot in here. Yeah. It's still 21. We could also say the embedded filter here is anchor text equals a dot and say if the source page is a 404, control, click on the tab, we would get these links here. And then I say, okay, at least I disavow those where the source page doesn't exist anymore. Okay. So, and by now, we'll have a ton of disavows in the system. If we just click recalculate detox risk, the overall risk will probably be a lot lower, like 800, 700, maybe 600. And then we have a disavow file. And that disavow file, you then upload to Google Search Console, which means you tell the Google bots what you would like to disavow, which links should not count. However, it still takes up to 9 months for Googlebot to crawl all these spammy links. That's what we know. And this is why we built Link Detox Boost in 2014 already, out of existing technology also, to force Googlebot to crawl them faster. You want your disavowed links to be crawled. You upload your disavow file, and then it needs to be crawled. If it's not being crawled, then it doesn't count at all. I mean, the disavow doesn't count. Or in other words, whenever you change something about a link, Google needs to crawl it. If it's not being crawled, the change doesn't work. And so there's a lot of talk about, delays and sandboxes and all kinds of things, and they always have to do usually with Google not having crawled the links. That's it. And if you work in some forums, that's especially true. If you have some bad links, maybe toxic links from forums that you need to disavow, then it's highly recommended to use Link Detox Boost to make sure that those links get crawled. Eventually, if it's been a couple of years ago where these links were placed, Google is not very fond of recrawling really, really old pages that don't update often and don't have a lot of links to them. So yeah, that's it for today. I think, Rick, you have to leave a little earlier today. So, and I promise that we keep this around an hour. And
okay. Yeah,
we'll try to make a recording available.
Okay. So we're back in 2 weeks in English, is it?
Absolutely. Every Thursday is Link Research Tools Site Clinic Day. There's an English one every 2 weeks, and there's a German one in 2 weeks. And of course, we can, get your site shown here and give you a chance to ask questions and tell us a little bit more. The more input we get from you, of course, the better. And for all of those that now said, oh, I want my site, audited, be aware, audit means we do due diligence. What you see right now is crawling. Crawling takes time and resources, of course. Doing an audit with something that you get, at the snap of a finger is maybe data that is weeks or a month old. Just do yourself a favor and download a list of links from your favorite link database and then look at the last seen at. That's the date, and it often goes back long, long time ago. And we plan to launch a feature where you can, better see that in our product also. Yeah, but for all of you guys being here, thank you very much. All the German-speaking ones, I see again next Thursday. All of you English ones, I see in 2 weeks. And thank you, Rick, as well. It's been a little bit tougher today with the internet connections, but thank you very much for your contributions, and I hope to see you soon again here as well, right? You're on in 2 weeks.
Always a pleasure.
Awesome.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, guys.
See you guys.
Have a nice evening. Bye-bye. Oh, here we go.